Hello, everyone. It's William here from Allegory Gallery. Thank you all for joining me this evening. I hope you're all having a great night, um, or day, or morning, wherever it is, whatever it is in your neck of the woods. But thank you for being here. I see Susie's here. Hello, Susie. I see Norma is also here. Hello, Norma. Thank you for being here. Um, We had a fun day today. I don't know what you all did. Let me know in the comments what y'all did today. Um, if you had any exciting adventures or did any errands or anything like that. We went to Contemporary Craft in Pittsburgh and we taught a group of high schoolers how to enamel. This was the second time doing this. This group was very enthusiastic. We had a lot of great kids, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Um, yeah, we can never take pictures because these are kids. So we don't generally do that. We don't have their parents' consent. When we have kids in the store, we always ask parents if we're able to take their pictures and share their pictures. But in these kind of things, we don't have parental consent. So we never do that. But we had fun with them. Everybody made a project. None of them have enameled before. I think including the teacher had never enameled before. So it was a great experience for everybody. We took them through starting with a sheet of copper. We took them through how to use the hole punch. I want to call it a hole punch. That's not the right word. The disc cutter. That's the word. We took them through how to use the disc cutter to cut out their disc to make a pendant from the copper. We also had shapes there available. Some people made acorns, some had pumpkins, some had leaves. Contemporary Craft had a number of shapes that they could choose from, but some people chose to cut out their own. So we did that with them, took them through that, took them through the process of using the torch to burn off any oils. We used the drill press to press holes in them so they could put a jump ring in. Then the whole process of cleaning them between the torch cleaning, chemical cleaning, physical cleaning, different ways of cleaning the metal all the way through the process. Then sifting the enamel using the kilns, and of course all the safety and all the precautions you have to take all the way through. And then then we of course did both sides of each piece and took them through all of that. So everybody walked out with a completed piece, which is always the goal. We want people to have something when they leave. And they all, well, a lot of them were asking their teacher if they could then turn them into necklaces and things later. So I think they're going to have some projects to do that way too. So it was a lot of fun. Some people got more dynamic than others. We had somebody who did some a little bit of sgraffito with lettering. I don't know if you call it sgraffito when it's lettering, but it's the same process, carving a little bit away. Revealing the underneath with some letters. And someone did a little beach scene. They had a beautiful kind of ocean blue background, and then they applied some tan color to make the sand, and then they applied some white to make kind of the foam on the water, and it really came out really pretty. So everyone did a great job, and we were very proud of everybody. We had a lot of fun. We filled the time allotted, I'll say that. So it was really a good experience. So we did that this morning, well, this afternoon, and then this was in Pittsburgh, and then we stopped over at I want to say Construction Junction, but it's Creative Reuse. We stopped over at Creative Reuse in Pittsburgh and took a look through their wares and their goods, and to see if there was anything there that we needed for our craft projects. And we found a few things, not a lot. We don't you know, we have a lot of stuff. We don't always need to be buying more, but when we see something that really stands out there, then we usually grab it. So we got a few things. Hey, Harry, thanks for joining us. Glad you can be here. Um, and then after that, I went up to the cottage to clean out the pellet stove. I was up there working on orders. I got things together for the live tonight, and we have some nice stuff tonight. So I found some stuff we've never shown before. Of course, I mean, it's not that hard, but I did find a good bit of stuff. I pulled a lot of stuff we haven't showed before. Some of it we've shown maybe once or twice, but a long time ago. Um, I and I sat down with Andrew to work on pricing it out for y'all because some of it is, I mean, a lot of it is vintage. Some of these are really nice pieces. Some on the higher end of things, and then we've got some things that are just fun little things that aren't very expensive at all. So we've got a good mix for everybody tonight. I did not get a chance to share this video, so going to do that now. Please like and share if you wouldn't mind. It really does help. Helps get the word out that we exist, for one, as a business, and also tells your friends, hey, I like these people. I'm going to share them. So how are y'all doing? What have you all done today? Yesterday, I was in my pottery class and I got a few things back. So I'm going to show you those things today as well. I've got 2 things back and I'm really happy with how they came out. So I'm going to show you those. Yeah. So what's going on with everybody? Did anybody have anything they had going on today? Let me know. Let me know in the comments while I work on sharing these posts. I'm going to share them to our story. We're going to share them into the design challenges group here. Who else is out there? I see a few other people. Ava's here. Hello, Ava. Good to see you. It says today I organized part of my bead storage. That's a big thing. Holy moly. That's not easy. We've been trying to organize for quite some time. Quite some time. This office has been organized multiple times and we have never ever gotten through. I don't think you can ever get through the organizing. Like I see some people, they're like, I did it. I finally organized my space. I don't know how that happens. I don't know how you ever reach the end of organizing the beads. Ava says it had been raining, but the sun came out. That's nice. It was 60 degrees today. I think Susie said yesterday that it was supposed to be close to 60 and the weather forecast said 50. It was 60 degrees today. Now my watch says 52, but the car on the way home driving said 60 degrees. Harry made 2 new handmade bowls, fired 2 mugs, and made 2 necklaces. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. We got news of a possible kiln, maybe, that we might get, that we might ask about. Somebody has a kiln and it needs a new computer. I don't know how much those cost. We don't even know what kind of kiln it is. We got to get more details, but somebody happened to mention it today, so we might look into that. Hello, Suzanne. Thank you for joining us. We might look into that. I think it would be a fairly nice size kiln from what somebody talked about for me to do some pottery with. So we'll see how that goes. We also, Andrew found a good deal on a floor loom for me, a standing floor loom. And we'll see. We think we're getting it. It's super, it's a good deal. It's a good deal and it's local, fairly local. So hopefully that'll work out. I don't know how to do anything with it yet, other than the little bit I did in Italy, and it's completely different. It has foot pedals instead of flip switches like the one in Italy did, but we'll figure it out, I guess, right? Maybe. Sorry, my iPad I have to have the computer on to share things, and I have the iPad to do the to do the email, because the email still isn't working on our computer. Ava says it is a never-ending project. That's for sure. That's for sure. Suzanne says, I bet the cats like fiber arts. I know that's going to be, it's going to be interesting because a floor loom is not small. I don't know if you've ever seen one. If you saw one that was, some of the photos of me standing at the one in Italy, they are not small. They take up a good, what, probably 6 feet by 6 feet area. Um, yeah, maybe 6 by 6, maybe 4 by 4, somewhere in there, somewhere between there. So I don't know where exactly we might set this up if it works out, but we'll see. I might have, um, I don't know, like the basement is. The basement was going to be my pottery studio. I was thinking about working on that. Um, but I don't know if I can do looming and pottery in the same space, because pottery can be pretty dirty, and dusty. So I don't know if that would be good. We have an attic, but the attic is not insulated very well. Um, Although if we put a little heater up there while I'm working, I'm not sure it would be terrible. Um, so I don't know. We'll have to see. I think there is electricity in our attic. Um, so maybe the floor loom will go up there. I don't know. Um, this is all if we get everything anyway. I don't know. I don't know what all's happening. Norma says, I baked some par-baked real German bread that I ordered online, mailed Christmas packages to my brother and sister-in-law and my nephew and his wife, and sorted happy mail from Allegory Gallery. Oh, good. You had a busy day, Norma. You had a busy, busy day. Um, that sounds all great. You are doing the things. Andrew's been baking bread. Um, quite a bit, but in various ways. He made a flatbread a few nights ago, two different flatbreads a few nights ago. He's been making crackers, which were really good. I had some of those last night as a snack. Um, I don't know what we're gonna have for dinner today. I picked up a few like essential groceries, but it's not really anything I don't know that we can make anything from. Of course, Andrew seems to be able to make things um, from nothing. So that's always a plus. I'm lucky that way because I can't do that. Um, and we yeah, so he's been making lots of bread. We had pizza last night. I was just like, we were a little bit worn out. We're a little bit worn out. Like I feel like we've been running ragged. And so yesterday we got some frozen pizzas and made those. That was dinner, and that was actually pretty good. Um, but I don't know what we're having tonight. We were driving in Pittsburgh, and we saw an Asian grocery, and we were going to stop and get something. I don't know why we didn't. We should have just done that. But we're trying not to spend too much right now on things, so we kind of just we're we just kind of skipped it for now. But we should have gotten dumplings. That's the thing we should. But Andrew made really good dumplings. I don't know if he could do it again, but he made really good dumplings the other night. Or pot stickers. Suzanne says, "Did you get a haircut looking sharp?" No, I did not, but I shaved, which makes everything look different. I always I scare myself in the mirror a little bit. Um, like, who's that? No, I shaved, so it makes everything look right. But thank you, I appreciate it. Norma says, I also put up a small Christmas tree I bought, so I wouldn't have to drag the big one down from the attic. That's nice, right? Sometimes the big ones are too much these days. We have a small one we want to put up at the store. Have not done that yet, but need to do that. Um, Hopefully this weekend. We'll see. Well, it has to be this weekend if we're going to do it, because Christmas is over after this weekend as far as the store is concerned. So I really should go up in the attic and in the garage and see what kind of decorations we have. We've had some decorations. I think we had some that came with our house. Barb and her family left some, and then My grandmother, I got decorations when my grandmother passed. So we have to see what we have that maybe I can put out and decorate the windows with or something. I'm not great at decorating at all. So we'll see. We'll see what may or may not happen. Um, but Harry says, I had a 48-inch 8 harness loom we got from a school. It took up about 8 square feet. Yeah, it's going to be big. This is a 6, what do they call them? Saddles or 6 something loom. I think it's 36 inches. I think it's a 36-inch 6 saddle, I want to say, if um, that's the right word. I can't remember. You can see, I don't know anything about all this, but I had a fun time doing it in Italy. And so Andrew, oh, Andrew says, so bad news, the loom fell through. Oh no, what happened? That sucks. Did we get our money back? Because we put some money down on it, I think. Okay. Suzanne says we had spaghetti and arrabbiata sauce, the spicy sauce, right? That's the spicy sauce. That sounds good. That sounds good. And Harry's having spaghetti with meat sauce tonight. Nice. Let's see. Andrew says, I just put the tree up with the ornaments we made. Okay, maybe I'll do that. And let's see here. Apparently someone else paid earlier to hold it and she didn't see it. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I guess that's the way things go. So that's kind of sucks actually, because I was actually pretty interested in that. Oh well, we'll keep looking. Anybody know of a standing loom that somebody's giving away for not too much money? We do have people through our history. We've had probably 4 or 5 people since we've been in Pennsylvania that that have offered us like a loom for not much money or for free if we could take it or give it a good home. So I guess we just got to kind of put it out there and wait for things to come again, I guess, since this one fell through. Um, Suzanne says, Andrew, we put up the tree, but no ornaments yet. We did mail Christmas cards. That's good. We've been getting some Christmas cards from people. We appreciate that. Susan's here. Hello, Susan. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. How are you doing today? Andrew says, you'll probably have to ask for a refund since she sounds like she's not tech savvy. Oh boy. Fun times. Oh, supper's ready for Harry. Gotta go. Have a good supper, Harry. Andrew says, you never know. Maybe the person who wanted it won't pick it up. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? That's a shame because it was super local too. It was super local too. Andrew says, we got the Christmas cards out. Does that count? You mean not out the door, got them out, like to write. Yeah. I don't know that counts. We're a little terrible that way. Nancy says it's okay to be in less than a cheerful mood, not jolly, no fa la la going on here. It's all right. It happens. I hope you feel better though. I'm in a pretty good mood. I didn't get my loom. Didn't get my kiln. But I'm doing okay. It's been a pretty good day. I can't complain too much. We had a fun time today with the students. We had a good time in Pittsburgh together, and it's been a pretty nice day. It was beautiful out. The cats and I went out, had all 5 cats out again at one point. And we were just out exploring the backyard, playing with sticks. I take little the old the coneflower, the echinacea stems that are still sticking up out of the ground. I take those, they're really long, and they have a little seed ball on the end. And I take that and I run it across the yard. And Tallulah loves it. She runs after it and chases it. And then when she's done, Gertie and Ida Bell then chase after it. They give her the go ahead first, though. Because she doesn't play much in the house. Like, I'll play on the stairs with the cats. Tallulah doesn't play much in the house, but outside, that's her time. She comes alive and she loves it. So we go outside and we play. And in the house, Gertie and Ida Bell are the ones that usually get the most play. So I think they know that, and they give her her outdoor time, which is kind of really cute. Um, let's see here. Sorry, comments are jumping. Andrew says they got him off the shelf, right? Suzanne says, Nancy, it's perfectly okay. Andrew says, I'm not jolly, but best to stay positive, right? Keep a positive mood. Try to stay positive. That's for your own health, right? You may not be jolly. You may not be like digging in with the hooray, yay, holidays, but for your own health and for your own mindset and your own well-being, try to stay positive, right? That's what I do. The anxiety does not always help. The depression does not always help that. But try to stay positive as much as possible when you can. Find the nice things in life and enjoy them. We've got a lot of friends here, and like these lives are one of my most enjoyable things in the day, because I get to hang out with all of you and catch up. And sometimes, like I said, it's just sometimes the mundane kind of quote unquote boring things that we all do every day that we talk about, but it's nice to talk about them with friends. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being an enjoyable part of my day and making it a good part of my day. Suzanne says, Cinnamon is showing me her furry belly. See, that's an amazing, fun thing, right? That's a good thing. That's a positive thing. That not only is it cute, but it means that they trust us when they do that, right? They are giving us their trust, and that's super sweet. Susan is trying to make more collage notebooks because they are a hit at the gallery. Nice. That's an awesome thing too. Congratulations. I'm glad that they are a hit, and I'm glad that you are having a good time doing it. Hopefully, um, it always feels good when the things that we make are popular, right? Um, and I do have to say that I am thankful also that y'all like my pottery. I sold 2 of the 3 pieces of the My Dad's Garage special edition that I made. And I'm very thankful for that. I'm glad you enjoyed them. I had a lot of fun making them. They did take a lot of time to make in multiple steps, but it's been nice to see them find homes. Yeah, they were a meaningful thing that I did for me, meaningful for me, and I'm glad people like them. Andrew says, most of the day was good for me, but there must be something happening with the planets because we've had lots of financial bad news today. Yeah. I'm trying not to get too much into that, right? Not too much into that. A lot of not great things happening there. So trying to be positive aside from those things and get through those things. Vicky is here. Hello, Vicky. Thank you for joining us today. Um, Nancy says, it is known that positivity is key, right? Hey, Beth. That's our neighbor, our other neighbor, Beth, and our neighbor, Susie, both of them watching. Thank you for both watching us. Nancy says, I do find a minimum of 2 things to be grateful for daily. Good. That works, right? It helps. Ava's making cookies. What kind of cookies are you making? Sounds delicious. Who doesn't like cookies? I love cookies. Yeah. Um, like I said, I don't know what we're having for dinner. I do have cheesy puffs. I have I forget what they're actually called. Cheese puffs, I think. Um, as long as Andrew didn't finish them last night. He doesn't usually eat those, but I don't know. Do I still have cheese puffs, Andrew? um, I did have some. I left some for myself, but they don't always survive the night, my snacks. Um, May is here. Hello, May. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. Anybody else joining in? Thank you all for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Um, yeah, it's been a good day. We've put out a lot of new things recently. So Andrew put out new polymer pendants. If you missed any of those shows, those pendants that are available are now in the online store. So don't need to claim them from the live any longer. You can claim them by buying them in the online store, and that will definitely help. They are ready to go, and we did not increase the price on those in the online store. So they were 22 for the live. They are 22 still in the online store. So you can get them there. Ava says, chocolate chip, my special recipe. I had dried cranberries and oats. Ooh, that sounds good. I could eat that. Andrew probably couldn't eat it with the oats. Um, but I could. It sounds delicious. Susan is here, says I'm late, but I made it. Thank you for making it. Thank you for being here, Susan. Good to see you. See your name, see your comments. I wish I could see everybody. That's what our creative make-alongs are all about, hanging out on Zoom and actually getting to see each other. Andrew says we had a really productive conversation on the way to Pittsburgh. Yes, we did. That's what I was just moving into, talking about the creative make-alongs. Andrew and I were talking about a lot of different things we want to do for the store and our business, not the physical store, our business in general, and things that we're planning for the new year, and things we want to change, and things we want to keep. And so we're working on plans. We're definitely going to be doing a bead in the new year calendar. I'm going to start working on that probably tomorrow at the shop. And so if you have any input on prompts that you think would be fun for people to do, that would be good. I think Suzanne mentioned doing things with animal themes. So if you have any prompts you think would be fun, hit us up with those. May says, I saw a show on NHK, a Japanese channel that is for overseas viewers that reminded me of your metallic pottery. Very cool looking. Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. Andrew says, there's some stuff I have to talk to you about after the live. Good things? I hope good things. I hope you're not saying that going to make me anxious now during the live. That's not good. So I'm going to assume good things to talk about after the live. Susan says, are we having a creative make-along this month? I think we had planned to. Let me check. If we did, it'd be tomorrow. I thought it was going to be next week, but it would be tomorrow. So maybe. What do y'all think? Are you up for one? Or are you not up for one? A lot of times in December, people are not up for them, but I don't know. What do y'all think? Would you like to have one? Let me know. It would be tomorrow night because let me see if I did an event for that. Let's see here. Yeah, we do have it set for tomorrow. So let me know. Andrew says maybe good stuff about potentially getting a tax return amended. That's making me nervous. I gotta talk about that. Andrew says, I did find out that there is unclaimed money for you. That's a good thing. Yes, that is a good thing. We, Andrew went into some like lost property, I don't know what you call it, things like money. You can go into these things for the state and find things. And he found some things under my name. So we're going to check that out. Yeah, but we had a good day and productive talking. So that is good. And we have some ideas of things we want to do and some ways we want to change some things that we do and kind of figure out some things we really do like and some things that we need to change. So that was productive and that was fun. But yeah, that was our day. That was our day. And I think that's about it. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to get started with the show. I'm going to show you my pottery that I got back. I had pottery class yesterday and I worked on some test tiles. So I said I'm going to start the show and then get into something. Working on some test tiles that I've been playing around with and seeing about things we can do. And my pottery teacher wasn't sure how some things would come out. So we tried some stuff and she says she thinks they look really cool. I think they might look really cool, but we're going to see how they come out once they get fired and whether they change or not and how it's going to be. I didn't do them on pottery pieces because it is, I didn't want to make pieces and then kind of destroy them. So yeah. Sorry, Andrew's typing. Says, I wouldn't be nervous. Money was already paid. We paid taxes on one of my student loans that was forgiven, but it wasn't really forgiven. So we paid money on something that wasn't actually forgiven. Oh, that's true. Oh boy, I don't know how to. Yeah, we're gonna have to look at that. Yeah, because we had to pay the taxes on the forgiven part, but then it wasn't forgiven. I don't know how that works. So yeah, we're gonna have to dig into that. All this stuff. Yeah, Andrew found out today that his student loans that he thought were forgiven were not forgiven. So there's more things happening. It's a mess. Things are a mess right now sometimes, but those things happen. We work through them, right? That's what we do. Andrew says the reason I said we should wait to talk is that it talks about our personal finances and it's kind of boring and technical. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on. I did test tiles yesterday in pottery and I worked on that pretty much the whole period because I did lots of layers of things and they had to dry in between. So it takes a while for the layers to dry and I did kind of rush it. So I'm not sure that it's going to work out the way I planned, but and I don't know if it would have worked out better if I actually let them dry better or if I kind of like it because I do like I got a kind of, so I layered up layers of engobe, which is the stuff that I use to decorate with. And I did layers of it and then I cut through it to see if I could blend them or see what it would do. And if I let them dry more, I think I could have gotten more color or layer work. But because they didn't completely dry, it was a little mushy when I cut through it. But it also, because of that, gave some really sculptural kind of wavy color and lines. So I'm thinking it might be pretty cool. So we'll see what it looks like when it's fired. Andrew says, so I had to file a different plan. Oh, wait. I found out today the current administration canceled the payment plan I am on, and my bill went up 300%. So I had to file for a different plan today. Fingers crossed it goes through, because I'm not built for OnlyFans. Yeah, that was not a thing that we had planned for. And things are tight as they are already. So, yeah, not easy. My husband turned the TV on, Susan says. Turn the TV off. Oh, turn the TV off and put on Ima Sumac. She was a Peruvian singer who possessed a vocal range of 5 octaves. I'll have to look I could find that very interesting. Um, I'll have to check her out. I've never heard of her. But I'm going to write that name down because I always say I'm going to go back in the comments, but sometimes the comments aren't there. M.A. soon. Okay. I'll check that out later. Andrew says, though, maybe I can AI a muscle body. Andrew showed me this. He did this where you could try on clothes. I don't know if did you post that publicly or not? Oh yeah, there's a shopping site that will AI your head on clothes so you can see the fit, and it made me look like I work out. Yeah, he showed me those. I wasn't sure if he posted them on Facebook or not. And they made him look buff, like he was working out. It was funny to see, but I'm like, how does that show you? I mean, the clothes are mostly sold these days by, of course, sex appeal and having models that you want to look like, and so you want to look good, and you think you'll look good in those clothes, and I mean that's how they're sold. We all know that. But to actually put your head on another body that isn't your body, like they're not taking your body and applying the clothes to it and showing you what it'll look like. It's pretty much showing you what you would look like if you looked like that model and had those clothes on. It's very strange. It was a very strange AI thing, but it was funny. It was funny. Anyway, let me flip the camera around and take a look. I'll show you some of my new pottery. I only have 2 pieces, but I have not put them online yet. But hopefully you'll like them. I like them. I'm very happy with how they came out. But I can't lower the camera too much because you won't be able to see anything. Let me flip the camera around here. Come on. Here we go. Camera. There we go. Let me start here. Lights, camera, action. Move this stuff out of the way. So my first one that I got back is this one. This is a new glaze. This one right here, the light green, is a new glaze called Seguro, I think. Segura or Seguro. I think Seguro, because is that a type of cactus? Seguro cactus. And my teacher didn't know how it would come out, so I tried it, and then I did stripes of the other color, which I think is emerald. I'm not 100% sure. I forgot to take pictures of this one. I usually take pictures with the can of the glaze beside it, and I didn't with this. I forgot. So, and then I did all these little dots on it with the engobe. And I just had fun with this one. I think it came out really cool. Andrew says, what a time to be alive. Catfishing could be so easy, right? Make your own AI picture of yourself and don't even look like that. So easy now. Saguaro, Andrew says. Saguaro. Okay, Saguaro. Suzanne says, very nice. Love the green. Norma says, ooh, pretty green. Thank you. So that's this bowl. This little bowl of mine. I really like it. So that's that. Anyway, and then this one, Marianne's here. Hey, all just got home. You're getting home late today, Marianne. Hope you had a good day. Then I have this one, which is done with 3 or 4 different glazes that I worked with. And so there's the inside, has a little bit of a pattern going on the inside. And then these kind of beautiful greens and browns and blues on the outside. I love, love, love how this one came out. And so that's the other one that I did. Oh, sorry, computer's going dead. I like having the light. Vicky says, I love that second one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Marion says, normal Thursday schedule. Schedule. I don't know your schedule, but I'm glad you can join us. Glad you can hang out. Those are cool, says May. Thank you. So those are my 2 new pottery pieces. They will probably go in the online store soon. Marion says the second one is gorgeous. Thank you. Yeah, I did. I think this is 3 different glazes. The green is all over. I think I did the whole vessel in the green. And then I layered on top of it the blue and this brown red. And so, and then technically, the funny thing is that the inside, so you see these lines on the inside, those lines are technically this color. They are this glaze. But because of the way this was all layered, they came out blue, which is so strange because they were not blue. But it's the way things got layered and the way the chemicals reacted. Glaze reacts differently depending on what it's put on and how it's layered up. So those actually came out blue, but they are actually this brown glaze. It came out brown on this side, but blue on the inside. You never know. That's why it's very hard to do the same piece twice. I've tried, I've had some that I've really loved, and I tried to do them again. They never come out the same. Pretty much unless you're working with just one glaze, it's really hard to get them to come out the same. Pretty much impossible. The green glaze is making me hungry for mint ice cream, says Susan. This one, yeah, right? Mint ice, it's a good mint ice cream bowl. Mint chocolate chip. Mint chocolate chip bowl. Right? May says, that's interesting about how glazes work. Didn't know that. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. What did Andrew say? Probably the copper. Yeah, I don't know. I think this one's called tea dust, I think, on the outside. It's called tea dust. And it usually comes out this brown color, but look at it. It has beautiful kind of almost that opalescent kind of quality in there where you get the blues and the brights and darks. It's just the more you look at it, I think the more beautiful it gets. You just see these variations in it. And then there's obviously right there something, there might have been a blob of blue or a green underneath that just ran. And so it ran into there and kind of changed that. And then the inside, I'm really happy with these. Norma says, that's what's fun about glazes, the mystery factor, right? Yeah. It's good times. So those are my 2 vessels that I finished. May says, have you thought about making beads or pendants? I have done some pendants. There's some of my pendants in the online store that have some of Andrew's decal artwork on them. So I have done pendants already, and I may do more. I may do more. We'll see. I've not made any beads, any type of beads yet. And I don't know why. I probably should make some beads. I don't know that my teacher has, I don't know if my teacher has the materials. You need to have, there's wires that go in the kiln and they sit in these little kind of triangles or whatever that you can put beads on. And I don't know that she has those. And I know a lot of people don't have success with some of those because sometimes they bend depending on the weight of your beads. So I've not played around with beads. I mean, there are plenty of people who do ceramic beads, so it's possible. I just don't know if my teacher's outfitted for it, but I have to check. Andrew says, we have kiln furniture for beads. Well, see, I didn't know that either. So there we go. I guess you have made beads before. I forgot about that. Andrew's done porcelain beads before. Andrew says, if you want to learn more, you can take a glazed chemistry class. It's pretty fascinating. Yeah, I might find that enjoyable actually. Marianne says, it's a struggle getting out of my 3 upper layers. Oh boy. You've been, is it still cold up there? We were at 60 degrees today. So that was kind of awesome. Andrew says, I used to make them. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Okay. Well, we've got a live for you tonight with lots of, Suzanne says 82 here. Holy moly. 82 degrees in December. Is that, that's like a major heat wave, I feel like. Or is that normal? I think you said it's hotter than usual. But that seems insanely hot for the middle of December. Marianne's at negative 18 Celsius. Negative 18 Celsius. That's wild. Such very different temperatures for our friends around, right? So negative 18, that's what, 0 degrees Fahrenheit for all of you out there. 0.4, negative 0.4 apparently. It was a record high, says Suzanne. I believe that. That's insane. Andrew said there's a lot of math. I don't understand it all. They also talk about charges of particles. Oh, for the chemistry. Yeah, see, that's the thing. The glazed chemistry. I was never great at chemistry. I got through 2 years of advanced chemistry in high school only because I knew, like, I took what the teacher told us and I did that. I had no idea, though, why I was doing it. You know, like, I'm a person, like, I like to know why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, I can catch on to things fairly quickly and I can repeat the process and do what I'm told to do. But I really like to know why I'm doing what I'm doing. And in my chemistry classes, I never figured that out. I never understood exactly why we were doing what we were doing or what it meant, but I could do it. And it's one of those things that still makes me a little bit crazy because I feel like I should have known why or been able to figure out why, but I was not able to do that. Susan says it was warm here today in the 60s and now it's raining. I don't think we got a little bit of rain, I guess. Just sprinkling kind of stuff. But I don't think, I just came home a little bit ago and I don't think it was raining. I don't think I had my wipers. I'm trying to remember. Andrew says the nice thing about applied sciences to craft or applied science, yeah. The nice thing about applied sciences to crafts is that you actually get to see what things do. Yeah, instead of like just this being told what it does, right? You actually get to see how it reacts and what happens. It's fun. All right, let's get started. I have some interesting things tonight. I found some things at the cottage. some of these things I came home and I asked Andrew, can I show these or are these yours? And he agreed to let go of most of them. So that's I think a good thing. I didn't raid his super secret stashes, I guess. Susan says it's been dry here, so the rain is a good thing. Oh, that's good. Norma says it's been raining all day here and supposed to tomorrow, then a drop in temperature. Yeah, we it's pretty much kind of the same thing for us. We have, they say it's been raining. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't outside much today, but like we didn't have to have the wipers on too much on our drive. It says it is raining now outside. It says it's going to rain through 9 o'clock and then be done until about 3 a.m. Then we're going to get thunderstorms and it's going to rain all day until noon tomorrow and then possibly turn into snow because we're dropping in temperature tomorrow. That doesn't seem right because yeah. See, I hate that. So the temperature says today 30 to 53 degrees. It was a little bit warmer than that. And it says Friday, 20 degrees, and then 52 is a high. I always assume that the high is like during midday, right? So you think 52, it's going to be 52 like midday, like at the height of the sun. No, the 52 is 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. tonight. And then it's just going to drop all day tomorrow, which I was not looking forward to. But we're going to get back up into the 50s by this time next week again, apparently. So strange. The weather is so strange. We had the windows down most of the car ride home. Yeah, we did. Yeah. Andrew says the metal spacers are from my stash. Yeah, I did take some of those. I did take some of those. If it stayed this temperature, I'd be fine, says Andrew. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It is pretty nice. All right, let's start. Let me see. What? Let me see if I've used this before. Come on. Why aren't you working? Okay. Okay. Let me. I've already used those letters. You know what? Let's do this. I don't think I've used these. We're gonna go with, since Susan mentioned it, we're gonna go with YMA. YMA lots. How about that? Marianne says we have a yellow warning for blowing snow between 4 a.m. to 2 p.m. Indoor day, I am thinking. Oh boy. Yeah. I don't know what yellow warning, I don't know what yellow warning entails, but it doesn't sound great. If you're going from green to yellow to red, it doesn't, that's like halfway there. Pam's here. Hello, Pam, says Marianne. Where do you live? Marianne is in Canada. Canada. We talked about if it was feasible to bring back Tuesday tutorials. Yes, we did. And do fewer live sales, Andrew says. Yes, we've been talking about that. What do y'all think of the idea of Tuesday tutorials again? We're talking about a lot of things. And of course, the one thing I did not write the price on. Now I forgot. It's the first thing I pulled too. Think. Let's see here. I think I said 25. 25. These are these silver spacers that Andrew was talking about. Andrew says we'd have to up sales on the website. Pam says, hi, it's been a while. It has been a while, Pam. Norma says, I would enjoy tutorials again. So these and the in-store sales. Yeah, we'd have to up a lot to be able to not have some of the lives, but it's a possibility. These are wavy silver plated metal spacer discs. And you get the strand of these, which is, let me see if I have my ruler here. One of these is actually inches. I got to figure out again this one. This is an 8-inch strand, 8-inch strand, YMA 1, $25. Silver plated, wavy spacer discs. Super cool, super fun. I love this look that it gives. And these are about 14 to 14 and a half millimeters. There's only one available, and these do come from Andrew's stash. Andrew says, we also talked about trying to get Jen to do Saturday morning tutorials since she's more settled in her job now. Yeah, I don't know if she'd be able to or not. We have to talk to her. We also talked about Andrew filming more tutorials and us filming them and doing them if Jen can't, and see if we can do something again where we have more of a consistent tutorial pre-recorded instead of live, pre-recorded tutorial happening every weekend again. Andrew says, maybe we can convince Laurel bringing the band back together. That would be cool, right? Get everybody together, do some tutorials. Pam says, we had excessive winds yesterday and expected for tomorrow in the foothills west of Denver. Schedule power outages to prevent any fires. We don't want a repeat of Marshall Fire 5 years ago. No, no, no. All right, so that's YMA 1. There's only one of those. One strand available. $25 for that. Silver plated spacer discs, wavy spacer discs. All right, MA2. Let's see here. We have these at $32 for the strand. Andrew says, I'd love to get Lynn Suprock available or involved since she's local now. Yeah, I like Lynn a lot. And Suprock is a very, very, very creative person and does some classes and things here too. YMA2 are these awesome spacers, also from Andrew's private stash. These, he was like, I don't know. He's like, I did have these set aside for myself. He doesn't let these go very often. These are these kind of nuggety, faceted nugget goodness spacers. YMA 2. You get the whole strand. It is a long strand. Let's see here. Where are we? Oh, that's not the one. I keep setting this down the wrong way. Okay, so that's 12. So these are about 32, 33, somewhere in there, inches for the strand. And these little nuggets are 3.3 millimeters, $32 for the strand, YMA 2. Andrew says, oops, sorry. I'm tapping on things here. My dream would be to have different teachers filming tutorials and they'd stream 24 hours a day. So you'd always have something creative going on. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? Just have a Allegory gallery streaming and always have tutorials running. Okay, let's see here. YMA3. Norma says, that's a big dream, Andrew, but I like it. All right, next up, we have these beautiful raku beads, and there are 12 beads. We're going to do them for $12. YMA3. These beautiful raku. And you get the whole strand of them. Very pretty colors. That raku goodness. And these are about 12 millimeter squares, raku beads. You get the whole strand of them for $12. YMA3. Hold on 1 second. I just need to check something. Okay. We've just sold YMA3. Thank you so much. I'll put that away. Oh, Andrew said yes. So these were RoryRaku.com. Rory Raku, Rory Ross. Looks like the name. Andrew said the receipt should be in the bag with the raku who made them. So that's who they're from. And they are sold. So I'm going to take them away. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. YMA4. We have some amazing, amazing Larimar. This is not an inexpensive treat, but it is definitely a treat. YMA4, $96 for the strand. This is an amazing, amazing strand of Larimar. Chunky, beautiful, vintage Larimar. Anders is a tasty treat, right? Look at the quality of these beads. Look at the size of those. Anders says good pattern and color. Yes, yes, yes. That is an amazing strand. And these beads are about 16 by 20 millimeters. Pam says beautiful Larimar, right? This is vintage. This is when the Larimar was the good stuff. Larimar comes out of the Dominican Republic only. I believe everything is mostly still closed up. It's hard to find good quality Larimar now. A lot of the mines, I think, got flooded is what happened. And a lot of the good stuff has been, excavated. But this is the vintage. Good stuff. Let's see. Andrew said the mines flood every year. So that's that. YMA4, $96 only. That's a deal. That's a steal. Andrew says they just stopped pumping them out. And then these are so cool. I've never seen these before. Andrew says, at least that's what we were told. YMA 5. I have never seen these. These are these kind of rice-like beads. And they have, whoa, it's hard to, they have on each side, they're four-sided, and on each side, I don't know if it's glass. It looks like glass. Or it could be a resin of some sort. But they have this purple inset in with the gold. And you get a lot of these. You get a lot of these. And they've already just sold. We've also sold YMA4, the Larimar. Thank you so much. Look at those. These have sold. So I'm going to put them away now. But thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. I've never seen these before. They're so cool. Somebody just tried to grab them again. The first person was real quick on that because with some of this stuff, this fun stuff, I don't know where these came from. I don't know much about them because we tried looking them up, can't find them. I don't know, but I love them. All right, like I said, 4 is also sold. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to put the Larimar away. Somebody got an excellent deal on that kind of quality and quantity of Larimar. Excuse me. Okay. YMA, what am I on now? 6. You know, I have stuff tonight from all different kinds of things. High end, low end. Marianne says 5 is pretty special, right? Kimberly says, hello all. I've missed visiting with you all this week. You've been away, right? Is it right? Am I right? Yeah, we've missed you. Welcome back. If you're back. I don't know if you're back. It says, yes, I was in North Carolina. That's what I thought for the work thing, right? The work convention, the holiday thing. I hope you had a good time. Did you have a good time? It says, I am home now. These are glass beads, black glass, simple strand, 8mm glass rounds in black. And I'm going to do the whole strand. I'm just going to do it for $5. If you like that, there you go. That's the deal, $5. Andrew says, I was thinking of making tea blends for folks for holiday gifts. That's nice. Andrew says, yeah, my husband's company holiday party. You said you usually have a good time there, right? Hopefully it was good. We did miss hanging out with you, though. We asked earlier, no, I don't think anybody answered. Does anybody want to do the creative make-along tomorrow? It snuck up on us, so I don't know if y'all want to do that, if you'd be willing to hang out, or if you would rather not. I think, Kimberly, you had said before that you were hoping we would do it. Kimberly says, yes, I am totally in. We'll see how things go. Andrew says, I'm thinking lemon ginger. That would be nice. All right. We had these at 28. I'm going to do them at 22. Give you a little bit of a, we've shown these once before, just once before. Sorry, my throat is drying out. Marianne says, sure, why not? Susan says, I can make it. All right, maybe we will do one. YMA7, this is a beautiful strand, vintage strand of chrysoprase. Nice chrysoprase. Pam says, could you video it? I work followed by a doctor appointment. We get on Zoom. So it's together on Zoom and we all hang out. We don't usually record them because they're usually for participants who can come in, and it's kind of a spur of the moment, like whatever we talk about, we talk about. So it's not really a thing that is like, probably, I don't know that it's really interesting to watch after, because we just kind of get into conversations. So we don't usually record them, so that people don't feel self-conscious that they'll be shown later. We just kind of get together and talk, and people who are there can participate, and people who can't, unfortunately, then you get for the next month. That's all. But it'll be 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night if we do it. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night. Andrew says, nah, if we gossip, I don't want that recorded, right? We do sometimes gossip. So yeah, that's one of the other reasons we don't usually do that. Let's see, we've just sold 6. Thank you so much. And this is the chrysoprase. I keep showing it, but I haven't measured it yet. 7.5 millimeter. 7.5 millimeter seems to be a vintage size. We don't see it very often these days, but a lot of our vintage strands are like 7.5 millimeters. And I just want you to see how beautiful this is. This is a gorgeous strand of chrysoprase. And so that's YMA7. Last time I sorted spilled S-word crystal for the make along, right? Andrew says, that's like the one time we tried to stream book club when we drank the wine. Yeah. Don't do book club when you don't stream book club, at least when you drank all the wine. It's not it can be fun. Andrew says, I had to la 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 as loud as I could. Right? Yeah. All right, so I'll put 6 away. That is sold. YMA7 is still available. So 1, 2, and 7 currently have not been claimed. 1 is the sterling silver, or not sterling, the silver plated wavy discs. You get the whole strand of those. Those are spacer beads. They're really cool. You have these rough cut little nuggets of goodness. These little brass spacers. These are one of Andrew's special things that he uses a lot in his jewelry and very rarely shares these. People ask him all the time for these. They're like, can I have the spacers that are in his necklace? And we're like, no, we don't sell those. So we're actually selling them. Sorry, we're actually selling a strand this time. Tea was served with the wine, says Andrew, right? Suzanne says, not the best choice, I guess. The length of the chrysoprase. The length of the strand is, let's see, these are vintage, so we'll see what size that is. It is, let me make sure I'm on inches here. 12, I'm going to say probably 14 and a half. A lot of times the vintage strands were like that, so 14 and a half to 16. The higher end, sometimes like this, we find them, they're a little shorter. It's about 14 and a half inches. Let's see here. Then we're doing YMA 8. Okay. What else do I have in here? I'm trying to mix in, like I tried to, whoa, strand broke. Boy. Okay. So this strand broke. It's lampwork glass. It is not artisan lampwork glass. I mean, it has to be artisan. Somebody made it, but it's not like specifically somebody artisan. It's a more mass-produced glass. And I'm going to do this for $5 for the now broken strand. Emergency, emergency, says Suzanne says, right? Yeah. Broken strand. Boy, that broke. You can tell sometimes, like, this is the nylon, but these are vintage. Sometimes you can tell it gets brittle, right? So it just broke. Um, but these are really pretty. If you are working with Cloud Dancer, the white, doing a white and black theme, I think black and white is going to be a big thing coming up. So we have, you get these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like 11 beads and all these little spacers in there. Allison used to scream, "Man down!" I know, especially if anybody dropped anything. It was "Man down." I had a tendency to start doing it too, because I used to hang out with her a lot in the shop. She helped a lot when I was there, especially when I transitioned from Andrew being in the shop to me being in the shop. She was a huge help to us, um, and I've always appreciated that. And these just sold, so I'm going to pack them up. You will get, there's all these little, there's these little spacers in there. You'll get those too, whether you want them or not. All right, YMA 8 sold. Oh, 8 just tried to sell again. Sorry, too late. But I've got lots of that kind of lampwork glass, I think, tonight, and just fun stuff. I just wrote YMA 8 again. And my phone, I forgot to plug it in, so let me plug it in because it just warned me my battery is dying. Okay. YMA 9. I found lots of fun stuff. I don't know where this stuff has been, but I dug through lots of drawers today and found lots of fun stuff. All right. These, I'm going to also do $5 on these. YMA 9. These are these beautiful black and white wavy, again, lampwork glass discs. Don't worry about it, William. Right? These are fun. I love these. I don't know if people like these kind of discs because they're drilled in the center like this, but I love them. I'm drawn to them. Um, this is 28 millimeters approximately, 28 millimeters, and thickness wise, they're about 6 millimeters at that center. So really cool. I think they would go really well with those, the last batch of things we had there, the 8s. So that's YMA 9. I'm going to step away and turn off the heater in here because I'm starting to get hot and it's drying out my throat. It's also making me cough, so I apologize. Andrew says, I went through a phase where I just bought whatever disc beads I could. I used to make spinner rings. Yeah, they're fun. I think it's so much fun. Okay. YMA 10. Okay, I can't. This is also one I can't remember what we decided on the price. Why didn't I write these down? I wrote like everything down and I was like, oh, I'll remember that. And then I talked so long that I don't remember that. Andrew said, I also made pendants that kind of look like if you chopped a bike in half and the disc was a wheel. I don't remember that. Was I around for those? um, hmm. um, I'm gonna do. I think this is a really good price for this. So don't get mad, Andrew, if I forgot what we're supposed to price this at. YMA 10. Vintage citrine. Doing it for $28 for the strand. Beautiful citrine. Look at how beautiful those are. And those are yellow. Like, you don't need the yellow string in there to know that's citrine, right? 8mm beads. This is a vintage strand again. So I think it is again, yeah, about a 14-inch strand. Andrew says, yeah, it kind of looks like a teardrop and the disc would spin around, short bell at the top. Oh, I do remember those. I do. And I just want you to see, like, I think these together could be really fun because you've got some of those hints almost of like the brown yellow in the chrysoprase and then that gemminess of the citrine. I think that would be really fun to play with those together. I think some of y'all could do some fun stuff with that. So that's YMA 10. Andrew says the citrine are amazing. They glow. They do kind of glow, right? Like, look at that. Look at that. That's some good citrine right there. Good quality citrine. Okay. We just sold YMA 9. Thank you so much. I'm going to put those away. Marian says, nice citrine. I think so. YMA 9. Thank you so much. Let's move this over. So these are the things that are still available tonight. YMA 11. Let's see. Let me get this bag up here closer to me where I can see what I'm doing. And this is, I think you need something orange with the citrine and chrysoprase. Very citrus. Let's see. Do I have anything orange in here tonight? These are fun. They're orange. I don't know that they're the orange we're looking for, but here's some orange. How about these? This is a graduated little kind of collar made out of dyed shell. I'll do this for $8. YMA 11, $8. I know some people really love these little collars. And I think this is a really good price for that. Dyed shell. I kind of love this side of it. I know that's the back side, but look how pretty. I don't know. It's a little bit rough, more rough and ready. I kind of like it. But if you get this, you can use whatever side you want. This thing's in my way right now. Here we go. So there's that. YMA 11. So there's some orange. Look how that would go. Look, you combine that those kind of colors, it'd be really pretty. Oh, there's something I forgot to ask Andrew about. Let's see. Andrew's saying, I also used to do discs as a toggle on a lariat. You make a beaded loop that slips the disc. You put a great big bead so you don't get choked to death. Huh. Hey, Anne. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a good day, Anne. Yeah. I also think that these or these could go very well with last night we had, what did I do with it? I don't think it sold. I we had some of that let me check. Was it here? I think I did the live from here. Although I don't see what I'm looking for. We had we had some is that the word? I'm losing my words. Um irradiated quartz. We had some of that vintage irradiated quartz yesterday. Um and I think the colors, because they had some of that gold in it, and I think that could have been really, really pretty with these. Oh, what did Ann say? Ann say, I slipped and fell twice on the ice, and now my muscles are all noodly. I feel old today. Oh, no. Hope you're feeling okay. Says, oh, I love that irradiated quartz. Yeah, I wish I could find it. I don't know why I can't find it off the. I just moved all that stuff, like just a few minutes before this broadcast, because I wanted to take it out because it didn't sell, and I was very surprised. At least I don't think it did. Maybe that's why I can't find it. I don't want to hold everything up for that, but I wanted to show it again in case anybody missed it. That's not it. That's not it. Nope. 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 Okay. Well, if you want to see it, I guess take a look. Take a look at the replay because I can't find it, which is very strange. And I swear it was right here earlier today. Anyway, let's see. There's some on the floor in front of the desk. Well, I did some, I especially did, I especially set them, I sold them yesterday. Well, I didn't sell them. I don't think anybody bought them. Was I doing, or did I do it from the cottage yesterday? I can't remember. Anyway, maybe I was at the cottage. Maybe that's why I can't find them. Yeah, I can't remember what I'm doing from day to day. Yesterday it was at the cottage because it was Wednesday, and I think I did it from up there. Yep, I did. So that's why I can't find them. So check it out if you like your radiated quartz. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting off track here. I think they were $42 if I'm not mistaken. It was a vintage strand. Andrew says we're having chili and rice for dinner tonight. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Marianne's having spanakopita. That sounds good too. Andrew says, you want some arnica? You need some arnica. That's strong stuff. Okay, let's see here. Squirrel. I know. That's what I feel like today. Okay, let me see. We just sold YMA2. Thank you so much for grabbing that, person who did. Let me put that away. See, sometimes that happens, right? All right, let me put 2 away. Oops. Get these in the right order so when I do my spreadsheet, I'll make it easier on myself. Okay, let's move these up. Oh, okay, I try to be together, but it doesn't always work. It doesn't help that I can't remember where I was from one day to the next. Aaron says, okay, so not squirrel for dinner. No, not squirrel for dinner, right? Black market Italian arnica, says Andrew, right? Get that good stuff. Get that good stuff. All right. Um, let me see. I said I had some other kind of inexpensive lampwork beads. And so I have these. And we'll do these for $5 as well. How about that? Giving you all some, I think, good deals tonight. YMA 12 are these beauties right here. And so you get those. Those are really pretty. I like that kind of um almost pinky berry. We'll call it berry, not pink for those of you out there, Marianne, who don't like pink. Call it berry red, right? Berry red. Suzanne asks, has anyone used magnesium cream for sleep? Yeah, I don't. Have we used the cream? I don't know if we've used cream. We definitely do take magnesium, and it does help. But you got to get the right kind of magnesium. Got to get the right magnesium. Or magenta, says Marianne. I was gonna say magenta, and then I figured people would fight me on that, but it is kind of magenta. These are kind of really special, I think. Let me see. I'm gonna sneak these up here and see how long the strand is. This is a 10-inch strand. 10-inch strand. Let's see what I want to price this at. I don't think we've ever had, I could be mistaken, but I don't think we've ever had these before. You know, we have good pearls, right? Y'all know we have the nice vintage pearls. And these are stunning. I'm going to price this at, let's see, YMA 13, $22. These are really nice. Let's see. Oh, let's see. What are we saying here? I haven't used the cream, but I get ads for it, says Andrew. Susan says, I've tried the cream, but didn't help me. Yeah, we take the internal, the magnesium supplements, and I forget what is it. Magnesium glycinate is one of the most absorbable ones, and your body uses it the best. You can get a lot of cheap magnesium out there, but your body barely uses it. I think it's glycinate that absorbs well. Marion says, my magnesium comes with calcium and vitamin D. All right. These are stunning. 10-inch strand, faceted freshwater pearls. Look at those. I forgot to ask Andrew if it was okay to sell these. Oh, I smelled dinner. It smells so good. Look at how beautiful these are. They probably should be a lot more, but it's hard to price vintage stuff sometimes. These are about 6mm, 10-inch strand. Let me just bring that light up there. These are high quality faceted pearls, vintage freshwater. And I love this shape on these. They're almost like a heishi kind of spacer. Look at the color. Andrew says, oh, that's too cheap on those. Uh-oh. Do I have to increase the price, Andrew? What should I charge, Andrew? Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Andrew's increasing the price on these. Let's see what he says. Let's see what he says. Angela says, glad to catch you now. Hello, Angela. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Andrew says, nah, you can let it go. Okay. All right. So $22, y'all. These are never going to be seen again at $22 because once Andrew's going to let them go because I said it, I think. But if these remain with us, they are not ever going to be $22 again. These are nice. Andrew says they look like a pastry to me, flat on the bottom and rounded on the top, right? That is funny. Andrew says I will keep them. So 10-inch strand, vintage, freshwater, faceted pearls, YMA 13, $22. Get them before Andrew decides never to let them out of his hands again. And they have sold. Thank you so much. They almost look like rubies. I know, Marianne. Garnets or rubies, but with extra bling. More than one person tried for them, but one person has got them. So thank you. Thank you. We only have the one strand. I don't think we've ever had a strand like that before. Ever. So good job. Good job grabbing it. Okay. This is just a fun lot. They're good for bead weaving since they don't roll over. Oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't have thought about that. I don't do the bead weaving. YMA 14. This is a fabric strand, knotted, woven kind of fabric strand. We know some of you out there love the various fabrics. So I found this. It was, you can see the old price tag on it was 10. So we're going to keep it at 10 because this is old. And it says, I had them in black and used some in my self-portrait brooch. Ah, see? I'm finding his stashes, y'all. I conveniently for y'all who grabbed them, I did not get to ask Andrew about those. I forgot I had them in the bag to ask him for pricing on those. So that's YMA 14 for the fabric. Okay, YMA 1 is still available. I'm going to put it away. Andrew's going to get those back. He's probably not going to let them go again. That is $25 for those silver plated wavy disc beads. $25 for the whole strand. Those are from Andrew's private stash. And he let me put them up today, but he will probably not let me put them up later again. These are the folks who started the recycled sari silk trend. Oh, nice. I'm going to put 7 away. This is the chrysoprase, this high quality. Let's see what it says. Yeah, grade A chrysoprase. Beautiful color. YMA 7, I'm going to put that away. It is still available though, if anybody would like to grab it. And I'm going to move the citrine, beautiful citrine over. $28 for the strand of citrine. Andrew says they split up and they tried to have 2 separate companies selling the same thing and couldn't make it. Oh boy. They used to be set up down the way at Bead and Button. That's a shame that happened, but it does happen, right? A shame that they couldn't make it because they had a good thing. All right. YMA 15. Oh, these are very interesting. We decided on $20 on these. You get the whole bag of these, and these are stunning. We believe them to be green quartz, but like a created green quartz, and they are 2-hole beads, a synthetic. I guess that's the word, synthetic green quartz. And these are beautiful. At first, we thought maybe they were CZs because they are super blingy, but they are so pretty. Let's see what Andrew say. They used to have this Tibetan yarn that I wish I bought more of. They also had yarn made out of newspaper. That's cool. You get this whole bunch of these for $20. Andrew says they're more green on the edges. Yeah, they kind of have that, like you can see they're green on the edge, darker on the edges. They're really pretty. And I don't know if they're coming across on the camera as blingy as they are in person, because they are really something beautiful. And you get all of them. I think there's 36 of them, if I'm not if I remember when I counted them. I think there's 36 of them for $20. And they're just so cool. Andrew says they're more sparkly in person. They are very sparkly. Like I said, we thought they were possibly CZs, but we've come to believe that they are an imitation green quartz, or a manufactured green quartz. YMA 15. YMA 15. All right, let's see here. I'm going to put this away, the citrine. YMA 10, $28 for the citrine. And let's see, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to put YMA 11 away. I think I'm running out of bags. I keep forgetting to bring bags home. YMA 11, $8 on that. With a shell collar. And we'll move 12 over here. That's these lampwork glass beads for $5. And 14 is this braided recycled sari silk. And 15 are these beautiful green quartz 2-hole beauties. All right. Next up, it's a big one, y'all. It's a big one. We're gonna do this at, this is $96. This is vintage, good quality hemimorphite. Now, hemimorphite, you can find it for various prices all around. This is the good stuff, the old stuff. Hemimorphite, large, beautiful, faceted nuggets. Hemimorphite, vintage, $96 for the strand. And this strand is a 12-inch strand. Andrew says this is rare. Yeah, this kind of quality and this stone in general. Andrew says talk about cloud dancer, right? Beautiful hemimorphite, rare stone. Just grabbing one of these. It's about 14 millimeters wide. That one's about 18 and a half. They're various sizes. And let me show you these beautiful stones up close. It's a vintage 12-inch strand of hemimorphite, $96 only. These beautiful, large, faceted nuggets. You'll see prices on this range from a lot more than that to lower depending on the quality. This is a really nice quality stone strand. All right. YMA 17. Kind of glacial, says Marianne. Yes. Yes, it is. All right. We are going to, oops. Sorry, I'm just checking. Let's make sure my iPad stays awake. We have these two lovely pendants or charms. They are soft enameled little poppies. And you get them both $5 for the pair. It's only $2.50 each. Beautiful pewter and soft enamel. $5 for the pair. And they are approximately 24 millimeters by 26 and a half. That's YMA 17. Let's see, what else do I have in here? I know I have. There they are. And YMA 18. We've just sold 17. Thank you so much. I'm going to show you YMA 18 also because they're similar. Somebody just said I meant 18, but I hadn't even put out 18 yet. So I'm guessing you meant 17, these ones? Because I've not put out 18 yet. So let me know what you meant. 17 are these. 18 are not out yet. I don't want to, until we solve this, I don't want to do anything on 18 or show it. This is 16, 15, 14, and 12. Oh. How's everybody doing? Hanging in there? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Having fun? Seeing lots of pretty things. Sounds like people want to do the creative make-along, so I'll try and get home in time to do that tomorrow. Maybe I think we'll do it. I think we'll try and do it. Especially if we do okay enough tonight and we can not have the live with everything going on with us lately. I'm going to put YMA 12 away while we're waiting. Oops, and I lost the bag. Let's use this one. Maybe this bag doesn't want to open. There we go. Okay, still haven't heard about that. Somebody sent YMA 17 and said I meant 18, but I didn't put 18 out. So I'm guessing you meant 17. Maybe got confused when I did put this out like this. Let's see here. That's 12. Let me move 14 down. Move 15 down. Move 16 down. Move 17 down. And the reason I didn't want to say that, oh, Pam says, good night all, falling asleep due to the crud I caught. Oh no, well, have a good night, Pam, and hopefully you feel better. Um, the reason I'm asking about this for the person doing it is because YMA 18 is this one. And so you could have easily meant these, but you didn't know they were coming yet. So I'm not sure, but these are YMA 18. Okay, so I meant 17, so that's good. Just got clarification on that. And this is 18, so 17 has sold. And you can see why I didn't want to put these out yet, because they are similar and you could have meant those, but they weren't out yet. And I didn't want to get confused or confuse anybody else or get you the wrong color if you didn't want that color. So that's 18, and they're the black poppies. I don't know that that's a thing, a black poppy, but they're pretty cool. So that's why I made 18, and they're $5. Okay. Now, YMA 19. Sorry for the confusion, everybody. What else do I have in here? Oh, these are fun. These are 14 strand. Let me see how many strands I have of these. Ooh. Yikes. I have more than these than I thought. 1, 2, 3. I guess there's only 4 of them. I just dropped one of them. So 4 of them. And let me cut them apart so I can show you what one strand looks like. And we're doing these for 14 a strand. If I can get them unknotted and reknotted. There we go. This is YMA 19. These are tiny, tiny, smooth, round malachite. Tiny, tiny, smooth, round malachite. And I love these. I love malachite. These are 2.2 millimeters, so about 2 millimeter beads, 2 millimeter rounds. They are $14 a strand. I do have 4 strands of those available. If more than one person wants one, or if somebody wants all 4, it's a really good price. $14 for malachite, 2 millimeter rounds. Let me get these up here. Here you go. Look how pretty. It's one of my favorite stones. It doesn't get a lot of talk. People don't talk about it a lot, but it is one of my favorite stones. I love malachite. Love that green color. YMA 19. Okay, I'm gonna put 14 away. This strand of fabric. Andrew says, apparently there are black poppies. I don't think I have seen them though. Huh. I thought that was a thing like in a movie or something, but I didn't know it was an actual thing. Black poppies. How cool. Andrew says, I've seen hollyhocks, hellebores, and tulips that were black. Yeah. But poppies? Black poppies? How cool. Nobody wants 15. I'm surprised, but I think I'm surprised only because you can't see these in person and how sparkly they are. I think these would be great to have as like has a kind of focal in a necklace that went through and then split out down here, and to have this kind of as a centerpiece on like the center of your sternum, or up on your neck if it's more of like a choker. Have this part go around the back of your head, and then have the rest of the necklace come out like that. I think that would be super cool. I think these would be beautiful that way. Just to use them, or to use them in earrings. They'd be really pretty as earrings. Anyway, just thinking out loud. The things that come to my mind um, as I'm thinking about things and looking at things. Um, Marion says, I haven't seen a black poppy, just very dark purple. That's probably what they are. At one point, I wanted to have a garden of just black flowers, says Andrew, right? I think most black flowers are just a very dark kind of purple, right? They just breed them to be darker and darker and darker. I think. I don't know. Maybe they are actually black in some way. Anybody know? I don't know. I was gonna say I'm surprised this is still here, but I know it's a bigger price point. But the hemimorphite, a rare stone at such a um it's a vintage, it's such a good quality. It's really nice. YMA 16 hemimorphite. Oh, we just sold 14 just as I put it away. So thank you so much. Hemimorphite is still available. Beautiful rare stone, vintage quality, very nice quality. You know, as time goes on, sometimes the stones that you see aren't the same quality as what you would have gotten, some time ago. That's what I like about these vintage finds that we have, and vintage stuff from our stock. Hemimorphite, $96 in that one. 18 is these $5 black poppies, and that's a pewter with a soft enamel. And then the malachite, 2 millimeter malachite rounds, $14 a strand. That's 19. Okay, let me see. YMA 20. We've had some nice stuff tonight. That citrine, I think, is still available. The chrysoprase, the grade A chrysoprase is still available. Vintage strands. Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. It's been so nice to hang out with everybody. Let me see. What do I have on this? Wow. What did we have on these? Is that all? Okay. I've had these up for sale once before. We did them at $10, so I'm going to do them at $10 again for you all. And this is YMA 20. These are labradorite hearts. And you'll see a flash every once in a while, but these are more, they're done in a matte finish. So you're not going to see as much as the flash, but you'll see some of that internal kind of flashing on them here and there. Like, see, there's some flash in that corner. They're not the flashiest because that matte finish often does take away a little bit of that. But like I said, there's some parts of these, they're just really pretty. Nice heart shape. And you get the strand. These hearts are approximately 16 millimeters by 15 millimeters. And you get the whole strand. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 20 hearts on there. $10. So 50 cents a heart. That's not bad. If we had those in the store, that's a fair price. Very fair. Marion says the black poppy is pretty black and is used as remembrance of deaths in today's wars. Huh. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. Let's see. This was a pretty glass strand. It's like I'm just doing like $5 on all these glass strands. I'm gonna do $5 on this glass strand too. Nope, we just sold one of the 20s. Thank you so much. We still have one available. And this is a beautiful glass strand. Doing a good price for y'all on these. I love the colors. $5 only. This should be like $8 or $10. These are really pretty, but doing them pretty much at half price for you. $5 tonight. Just $1 a bead. And those are 14.5 by 16 millimeters. YMA 21. Rainbow friends, says Andrew, right? All right. I'm going to put the hemimorphite away. Nobody has grabbed it. So it's still available. Like I said, I am surprised, but I'm not surprised. I know it's a higher price point, $96, but it is a rare stone. It's well worth that in this quality. But I know. But we've got it. It's still available if anybody wants it. That's not something we put out very often. That came from the stash. 18 is still available, the black poppies. We still have the malachite rounds. We have one strand of the labradorite hearts. The name of the stone sounds bad. Hemimorphite, I know. They need that's one that needs a rebranding. They need to call that, should have called that Cloud Dancer stone, like Andrew said. Oh, we just sold 21. Thank you so much. Like hemorrhoids. Bless its heart, says Andrew. Oh my. Oh my. Like hemorrhoids. Hemimorphite, right? Yeah, it's kind of a sad name for such a beautiful stone. It reminds me a lot of Larimar, and actually it would go with probably with the Larimar we had earlier. It's actually more kind of on the aquamarine side of blue, I think. The Larimar that we had earlier was a little bit more green. But the hemimorphite is really pretty. Okay. Okay. These are Raku beads by, I'm going to say Zaz. I'm sorry, XAZ. XAZ. Raku. They were originally $23. Going to do them for 20 if anyone is interested. The old tag is still on them. They were 23. These are big, chunky Raku beads. I'm getting hungry. That food smells good. I don't know if it's done, but I am smelling it and it smells good, y'all. 1, 2, 3. So 6 beads on there. These are big nuggets. They are about 21.5 millimeters. Beautiful big Raku beads by XAZ. Raku. Okay. YMA 23. Marianne's getting sleepy. Kimberly says, oh, are those XAZ? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. You know. You recognize. Let me see. What do I want to put up next? We got so many fun things in here. Kimberly says, oh, yes, they are. Love them, right? Andrew says, I'm going to do some Raku enamel. Raku enamel? What even is that? Okay. These ones I'm gonna do. I think these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna do these at $6. They should even be more than that, but we're gonna do them at 6. YMA 23 are these beautiful glass lampwork glass beads. So Andrew, I am intrigued. Look at how beautiful these are. Suzanne says you can't do raku in the city limits here. That's a shame. That's a darn shame. And these are approximately 12 millimeters by 16 millimeters. Andrew says, maybe when the weather is good, I can roll the kiln on the porch. Oh boy. Oh boy. So this is YMA 23, 2, 4, 6, 7 beads, $6 for the strand, 1 strand available. I'm going to do this at $5. YMA 24 are these lamp work. Beautiful red and white. And various sizes, about 13.5 to 14 millimeters. It's like about 15 millimeters on that one. 5 beads on the strand, $5, $1 a bead. YMA 24. And let me put 18 away. 18 did not sell. See any bags, bags. Running out of bags. Black poppies still available. Andrew says, makes sense. First time I saw Raku, the girl caught her pants on fire. She had the great big Jenko pants that were rolled up. The bump on one of the pots popped off and got caught in the cuff of her pants. People gave her so much gruff about being a liar. Oh boy. What was she being a liar about? That she cut her pants on fire? Liar, pants on fire. Duh. That's it just came to me as I said it. Oh my goodness. That's kind of funny. All right. I'm going to put 19 away. That's the beautiful little malachite, the vintage malachite 2 millimeter rounds. $14 a strand, 4 strands available. We still have some of those available. That one took me a second. I'm like, why is she lying? What's lying? Oh, wait, this is 19, 18, 19. We still have one of the hearts available. I'm going to put those away. These are matte labradorite. 1 strand available still, $10. All right, 22 still available, 23 available, 24 available. YMA 25. I don't think the clay they used were for Raku or they didn't slip and score properly. Oh boy. That's no good. Okay, let's do this strand. Oh, and this strand just popped apart too. What is it with the strands coming apart on me right now? Let's see here. Let me see if I can get this. Okay, this is the whole strand. There's a few spacers in there. Let's do this for Let's do it for $5 as well. Suzanne says those matte labradorite hearts are gorgeous. I know. I'm surprised we didn't sell both, to be honest. So this is a shell bead. These are these little shell coins. And they're really super pretty. And they have a lot of good shell kind of flash to them. Luminosity. And the coins are 11.5 millimeters, YMA 25, $5 for what is now a broken strand. These are vintage, so the strands and some of these are just breaking. Let me put it up here. There's room. I think these are super pretty. I love shell. Red onion, says Marion. That I could see that. Maybe that's why I like them, because we were talking about all these red onions in Italy. And those just sold. Thank you so much. You can put those away. Andrew said, there's a guy who teaches raku on enamel in Tennessee, but he's real secretive. I think I figured out the recipes, though. I also got Terra sigillata to try out on enamel. I don't know what that is. Okay, this one's sold. I'm going to put it away. Thank you. Thank you. YMA 26. Let's see here. Let's do this. I think 12 is a super fair price. It's probably a $16 or $18 strand. Beautiful tiger eye, vintage. $12 for the strand. 8.5. Well, 8. We'll say 8. 8 millimeter tiger eye. 8 to 8.5 millimeter, somewhere in there. 8.3 is what it's mostly coming up as. $12 for the strand. One strand available. Vintage strand from the stash. Andrew says, where they burn feathers and stuff on the surface of a clay pot. Oh, I like that. Probably a type of engobe. Nice. YMA 26. Beautiful. Tiger eye rounds. Lots of character in these. I like when they have some of these like cracks and divots, but still have the beautiful kind of chatoyance to them. All right. This is 26. Oh, somebody just tried to grab 25 again. Sorry, I only had one of those. I only had one. Wish I had more strands of that. That shell was really pretty. YMA 27. YMA 27. $10. This is Keith O'Connor ceramic beads. Keith O'Connor ceramic beads. Anderson, maybe you can get Amy to do it. She wants to do a raku thing. She definitely wants to. She just hasn't gotten things together. I think her other job is sometimes getting in the way of our pottery fun. But glad she was able to get it. Keith O'Connor, ceramic, beautiful beads. Large hole, which is nice. These are approximately 17 by 16. And these are about almost 4 millimeter holes. YMA 27. Marianne's asking, so Andrew, is Terra sigillata, I don't know how that's pronounced, like red Samian ware? Oh, let's see. I can get this. Okay. YMA 28. $4. Oh, we just sold 26 as well. Thank you so much. You can get a bag for that. Twenty-six is sold. All right, let's move 27 up where that was. Keith O'Connor beads. Andrew says, I don't know. The ones I've seen are white with like gray shadows on it. This is YMA 28. And it's these glass sets. It's a glass set. And it's kind of like this cranberry color with a light pink color inside. It kind of looks clear on camera, but this is a light pink color. Andrew says, but I just looked up the spelling and there's a lot of red pots. So this is $4. I actually have 2 of these available if anyone's interested in those. Marion says, okay, thanks, Andrew. Pictures online are red. Andrew says, we had a whole show on glass focals like this at one point. Yeah, we did. People love them. So I found these ones, and we have 2 of those in that particular colorway. If anyone's interested, YMA 28. Let's see, we had these 18. I'll bring them down to 15. Let me see here. How many are these? Four of these. I love these. YMA 29. These are peach moonstone, irregular beads. Beautiful peach moonstone. They've got that moonstone glow, but they're in all these irregular shapes. And I love irregular things. I love putting things like this on a bracelet or my like triple or quadruple wrap bracelets. I think it adds a lot of character for not a lot of money when you do things that are a little bit irregular like this here and there. And these are a nice quality stone. Some people just throw these away. A lot of times people will toss things like this because they are irregular, but look how pretty they are. They are deserving of use. So that's YMA 29. They were $18 a strand. Bring them down to 15 for you tonight. 4 of them available. YMA 29. Let's see. Andrew says, I showed a tutorial on how to make a beaded bail and this wire on AG fine pewter bird on it. Oh yeah, on these. Yeah, you did a beaded bail and wired on a bird. Andrew says we might need some snowstorm cookies. What are snowstorm cookies? Andrew said, of course it's supposed to snow when you're at the shop. Yeah, it is. Andrew says, I'd be so mad if they threw good beads away. I know, right? Snowstorm cookies. Why snowstorm cookies, says Marianne. I could use some for tomorrow. Right? You mean just cookies, Andrew? Just cookies during the storm? Is that what that is? Or is there a certain thing you're looking for here? Should I go to 30 or 40? How's dinner looking, Andrew? YMA. Should I just go to 30 or should I go to 40 tonight? Suzanne says, Andrew, I use that type of bell often. Thanks. Oh, good. Susan asked, what are snowstorm cookies too? So I'm just wondering, are they just cookies you want because it's going to snow? Let's see here. Andrew says, one time I had these really funky pearls. They were so crunchy and weird, and this lady bought them and said they were no good and threw them away. Oh my goodness, why did she buy them? Why did she buy them if she said they're no good? Marianne says 30, please. Dinner is ready. Okay, here's a fun one to end on. I'm going to do this for $5. This is another shell strand with some faux pearls. I think they're vintage plastic pearls, but this is the strand. I don't even think these are shell. They're made to look like a shell. I think they're vintage plastic, but they're really cool. And it's $5 for the strand if anybody's interested in that. I think it's super cool. I love the brown, the color in that. There's almost like a flash in there. Andrew said her friend said so. Oh my goodness. People, we don't sell things you should throw away. Um, all right, that's Andrew said dinner's ready. Marianne's ready to be done at 30. Let's end it at 30 tonight then. YMA 30, $5 for that strand. Let me give you the size on these. These are really nice. They're about 20 millimeters and they're super thin. They're about 3 millimeters. 3 millimeters thick only. So super thin on those. I think it's a nice strand of kind of vintage plastic. Susan says, good night, all. Good night, Susan. Thanks for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. There are still some really nice things available from last night and tonight. So if you missed yesterday's show, that quartz is still on my mind. So check that out. And I hope everyone had fun with us. Andrew says they were these weird blisters that popped and they were biwa and looked like a funky chicken foot. Oh my goodness. Don't throw the chicken foot pearls away. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have an amazing evening. And we'll be back here tomorrow, probably with a creative make along. I think that's where we're headed. So thank you for hanging out tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow. I might do a live sell during the day tomorrow in the store. We'll see. And then we'll do the creative make along at the end if we can. Maybe. How about that? All right. So thank you all so much. Have an amazing one. Bye, everybody.